Yeah, you have a good time last night?
Smurf-tacular.
Yeah, I saw you leave with Smurfette.
Oh man, as soon as we got out of the bar, she started smurfing me.
Shut the Smurf up.
Gave the Cartoon Collections videos a rest for a few months, but we're back with a video on some of those live-action adaptations by popular demand. Hey, so if this flopped, it's your fault. That's 6 movies, all based on 6 cartoons, all live-action. I guess that's all they have in common, huh? These are live-action movies based on cartoons. Part 1. I didn't forget about the one you're thinking about. I just didn't feel like talking about it today.
Boo! Boo! Don't nobody want to hear that bullshit. Start the video.
My man, I'm pussy?
Wake up!
Or better, we can see each other in real life.
Attention! Flintstones fever is sweeping the country. Everyone's running. It's open. It's America's #1 movie. The Flintstones, rated PG. Now playing.
Despite being one of my favorite cartoons ever, I seem to have only spoken about the Flintstones on this channel when they've done something with the characters that I either thought was trash or just alright. I'd call myself a fake fan, but I will not self-deprecate. There will be plenty of time for those kind of jokes later on in the video. The Flintstones from 1994. I don't know what year this shit takes place in, but I know that it's BC. So they better get ready because Jesus on the way.
Ooh, Jesus.
So, funny story. I've been begging almost everyone in my life to watch this shit with me for like 3 years and nobody ever fucking wanted to. Niggas I lived with, niggas in voice calls. We almost put it on once and my sister joined the call and somehow talked these stupid ass niggas into watching iRobot. iRobot? iRobot! But when I start waving my fucking gun around, this suddenly I'm wrong.
Okay, Brother Flintstone, we need a strike to win. Can you do it?
Hey, is the earth flat?
Fuck, I picked the wrong song for this section. I should have been playing B.O.B. Something that makes this one a little different is that it's actually adapting an arc from the original cartoon. Like Betty and Barney adopting Bam Bam is definitely shown. I remember seeing it as a kid. In the cartoon, Barney and Betty wish on a star for a kid since Betty can't have kids. It's honestly pretty heartbreaking. The next morning they find Bam Bam on their doorstep and the episode is about them trying to go through the legal system to adopt him legally. Anybody that thinks this show was for kids is off their rocker. This nigga Barney tries to kill himself when he can't adopt his son.
Life just isn't worth living, not without my little Bam Bam. Goodbye, cruel, wild Barney. Wait, give me that rope.
Where's the joke, bro? Give me like a rock pun before I have a fucking panic attack. In this movie, we actually learn that Fred spotted Barney the cash to pay to adopt the kid, strictly because he loves his buddy. And Barney is so moved by this that he vows to repay Fred somehow. And he does just that when he purposely swaps their test at work, leading to Fred getting a real big promotion. The core of this movie is so heartfelt, in some ways even more than the cartoon, which was a pioneer in its own way in that regard. I wasn't prepared for this. So much emphasis is placed on what these characters mean to each other and what happens when that's challenged. This is legitimately a story about Fred and Barney and what they mean to each other. Their relationship is just as funny as it is sincere.
I'm only one man.
Not from the back.
What do you mean by that?
They take that sincerity and use it to make the relatively small twists and turns in the story feel super heartbreaking. Way more than I was expecting, at least. I don't know if I've ever been more sad for these characters than having to watch Fred fire Barney at his surprise party that Barney threw for him to celebrate his new executive job.
Barney, I can't accept this.
Sure you can.
No, I can't take it back.
How come, Fred?
Because you can't afford it, Barn. Not anymore. You're fired.
Fired?
And I was terrified that it lead to some kind of falling out. But Barney is immediately so understanding that it wasn't Fred's doing and it was just something that they're making him do with the job. But you know that there's gonna be a falling out, so you're just waiting for it the whole time. With the new job and new money coupled with Barney being laid off and so tight on money that they have to live with the Flintstones, Fred starts to feel himself a little too hard and starts to treat the rebels like shit. He talked so crazy to Barney that they fell out beefing and Barney knocked this shit off.
Hang on, Betty. I forgot to punch out.
Barney keeps it 100 with Fred and lets him know that he's the only reason that he got that job. And the two piece it up right before the climax that doesn't have to do with these character arcs, but I will not explain because these videos do not serve as replacements for the source material. You hear that? YouTube copyright system?
R.I.P. R.I.P.
Fred takes his old job back and apologizes to his friends in a really wholesome moment, realizing that everything worth a damn in his life was right in front of him the whole time.
I was always the richest man in the world. I just never knew it.
What if Wilma got mad?
Yeah, nigga, that's cute and all, but how we gonna pay rent?
You look at some of these types of movies that came out when I was a kid, so roughly 10 years after this, and it almost feels like they're ashamed to do the source material for too long. Make them go to the real world. Give us an antagonist or a secondary main character that we've literally never heard of before. But this thing is the Flintstones. If you like it or hate it, it is trying so very hard. Even down to the music, it's just an enhanced version of the cartoon score. That's something that even the better versions of these kind of movies don't do.
Jesus.
They recreate the intro and outro pretty much effortlessly. Fred bowls in a very specific iconic way in the cartoon, and they do their best to bring that into the third dimension. When Fred jumps in the air to yell his iconic catchphrase, they really make this nigga airborne. And John Goodman does not phone in that yell at all. It looks silly and corny and stiff, but so is the cartoon that this thing is based on. And me. The only thing that's a little weird is some of the stuff they do with the camera. My nigga Tarantino directed this shit. If I listed off every callback this thing does to the cartoon, we'd literally be here all day. In the first scene that we see Fred and Barney together, they're singing Bedrock Twist while listening to it on the radio. Wait, radio? In a different scene, somebody at a board meeting calls Fred Mr. Flagstone.
Picked up a nail.
Thank you for sharing that with us, Mr. Flagstone.
Ah, nigga soft. Which just sounds like some random throwaway line, but the Flagstones was actually the working title for the cartoon when it was in development. In this exact same scene, William Hanna, one of the cartoon's creators, has a damn speaking cameo.
He's a madman.
The IMDb says Joe Barbera in this shit too, but I'm writing this shit at like 3 a.m. and don't feel like looking for him. I can't even see right now. It kind of goes without saying, especially by looking at it, but this one does a ridiculously good job recapturing the look of this cartoon and really bringing it to the real world. The set design is next level. This shit is like running through an amusement park. These appliances, the outfits, even down to casting Halle Berry, who looks exactly like one of those Simpsons guest star ass lady designs from the original cartoon.
Am I interrupting?
Not at all. Fred, I'd like you to meet your new secretary, Miss Sharon Stone.
1 minute I'm filling up at Chevron, and the next I'm having sex with Sharon Stone.
Yeah, now comes the best part.
Everything is intact, even down to the animals being used for everyday things that we have machines for.
This job sucks.
Ah, no pun? That's like the one rule. Also, Wilma knocks the TV over and sparks fly out. Do not try to understand anything. Never in my life have I ever seen more love, respect, and dedication to source material. Jesus would be proud.
Ooh, Jesus.
If you are a fan of this show and not just like a passive, I think the world's cute, like you actually give a fuck about Fred and Barney, I cannot think of a single thing they get wrong or don't try their damnedest to replicate. The only thing they changed about the cartoon is how bad Betty is. And they also added black people. Took 40 years, boys, but we did it. Jetsons, you next. That is a threat. That's like always been the joke with this movie, right? Rosie O'Donnell as Betty being the most random out of the box casting in a movie that's otherwise perfectly casted. But you know what? After watching this for real, she kind of smokes this Betty shit. She does like her little laugh perfectly. Everyone is acting their ass off, to be honest, and not in a performance of their career way, more in a I really want this to feel like the cartoon way. And the new people they add just make for fun cameos. Cheryl Lee Ralph, the B-52s, cutely renamed the BC-52s, that's pretty good. Elizabeth Taylor as Wilma's mom. This shit is like reverse Betty casting. I still beat though. Not proud, but I would.
That's it! Where's my club, Wilma?
You just try it, fatso.
Boy, if you was a man, I'd knock you in the
Fred.
Nah, what? Trying to beat up your wife's mother is crazy. What school this nigga go to? John Goodman and Rick Moranis especially, they were practically born to be Fred and Barney. Not like literally, but you get it. They both approached these roles with such earnestness and sincerity. Looking at this, you wouldn't even believe that Steven Spielberg bullied John Goodman into playing Fred. Nigga, I wish I got bullied into making money. What the fuck?
You know, Fred, I hear that eating too much red meat is bad for you. What a load of bunk. My father ate it every day of his life. He lived to the ripe old age of 38.
Is this implying that Fred Flintstone is younger than 38? This nigga aged like Marvin Gaye. The Flintstones is my fucking shit, bruh. I cannot comprehend how much I fucking adored this thing. I think that those live action Disney movies get a lot of shit because they kind of present themselves as trying to be replacements for the cartoon, changing plot points that have been nitpicked to death, adding backstory to characters that didn't really need it, removing expressiveness to push something a lot more realistic. Kind of like, all right, we fixed it, we fixed all the loose ends and brought this thing into real life. But this isn't trying to be a fixed version of the Flintstones. They're just doing the Flintstones. It's kind of a love letter to the Flintstones, honestly. And as a big fan of this world, these characters, this franchise, the care and heart poured into this thing does not go unnoticed. Probably would have re-experienced this a little sooner if my friends weren't a bunch of iRobot watching bitches. But you know what? Fuck them. Nobody got me. I know my nigga Fred got me. He died like 2,000 years ago, but he got me. Like Jesus. Today's video is actually brought to you by Fume. Flavored air is quickly becoming the leading alternative to smoking and vaping. Fume has always been at the forefront of that, but they really cracking the code with this new joint. Fume Zero is a new grab-and-go flavored air device designed to help people start replacing harmful habits without the commitment or cost of a reusable device. It's just flavored air, zero nicotine, zero vapor, zero batteries, no electronics. Just natural plant-based flavor that you can carry anywhere. It's an easy first step to better habits. Designed to be simple, pick it up, draw in, and taste. No setup, no recharging. Perfect for oral fixation, fidgeting, or daily stress. With a chewable mouthpiece. Get you used to chewing your pencil in middle school. The lightweight tactile design makes it feel good to use. I got the crisp mint on deck because that's what they sent to me, but there's so many others to try. Other flavors include peach blush, raspberry, mango, orange, vanilla, spearmint ice. Each one delivers over 10 days of peak flavor. And I promise they're all delicioso. At $24.99 USD. It's one of the easiest ways to try something new and feel good about it. Fume has already helped over 500,000 people make a change. The Fume Zero is their most accessible option yet. If you're ready to try it yourself, now's the time.
Why are you making it complicated? It's easy.
Break the habit, homie. Fume Zero starts at $24.99. It's the simplest way to try flavored air, zero nicotine, zero vapor, just flavor. And a better habit to reach for. Try it now at tryfume.com/products/fume-zero. Or scan the QR code on the screen.
What kind of music is this?
Hip-hop.
Okay, but I'd still like to know what kind of music it is.
If you stupid ass 15-year-olds that shouldn't even be watching this fucking video anyway think that I'm Unc, then The Adventures of Rocky and Bullwinkle is like great-great-grand Unc. Also, stop calling me Unc. Number one, I do not know you niggas. And number two, I'm not even 30. And number three, I beat the shit out of you.
Put it in your mouth, nigga.
Rocky and Bullwinkle are two of the OG cartoon superstars, and for a damn good reason. Flying Squirrel and the Moose vibe out until two spies from what I assume is Europe try to take over the world under the direction of their leader, fearless leader. The animation budget must have been like 2 Gatorades. I've always loved these things. They're quick, they're smart, and the wordplay game was crazy. I even loved the animation. I swear that was just a joke. In a lot of ways, it was like the first super popular, super meta cartoon that openly addressed its format, which was very new at the time. Now you gotta send in a wellness check if Rick and Morty don't vent about how much they hate the plot turn in Act 3. Even something as trivial today as characters addressing the narrator was a brand new, fresh concept back then. The influence of this cartoon is kind of relentless.
One of the college's first acts was to sign up the Frostbite Falls Flash Bullwinkle Moose, who, aided by Rocky the Flying Squirrel, proceeded to decimate the opposition.
No, we just beat the other teams.
That's what the man said.
Well, why don't he say what he says?
Did I just watch only 2 minutes of a random episode to find a clip that even remotely proves my point? You new here? 2000 saw The Adventures of Rocky and Bullwinkle, a hybrid movie about these characters from the cartoon coming into the real world to stop Fearless Leader's plan to... Fuck, dude, I don't remember. Fearless Leader Boris and Natasha come out of the TV Fat Albert style and attempt to take over the TV station RBTV, or Really Bad Television, in an effort to brainwash the entire country into voting for him. I know who you're thinking about, and that joke is way too easy. This movie is literally just the cartoon. From the very first frame, they do not let up. The pacing, the narrator, the wordplay. If you grew up with this show, these characters, and this humor, just like the Flintstones, I feel like you're actively lying to yourself if you don't watch this thing with a fat ass smile on your face. Lighten up, nigga, shit.
I'm the chairman of the Frostbite Falls Society for Wildlife Conversation.
You mean wildlife conservation.
What did I say?
You said wildlife conversation.
Well, somebody's gotta start talking about these things.
The first 10 minutes of this movie are just the main character breaking into a green light house to get the movie made, and an actual green light comes into the Rocky and Bullwinkle cartoon, drags them out of their world, and brings them here. If this shit got any more meta, Mark Zuckerberg would come out in a gumball hoodie. That one's a thinker.
Hokey Smoke, are you alright?
Yeah, but I think we're on the wrong show. Look how well they drew that girl.
This thing is a circus, it's a mess, it's ridiculous, and it's all over the place. So basically, it's exactly what you'd want it to be. It's not afraid to poke fun at its world, its characters, its plot, or its source material.
And RBTV changed its name from Really Bad Television to Rocky and Bullwinkle Television.
What's the difference?
But here's the thing. That part about me not really remembering the plot, that wasn't really a joke. I deadass just do not remember. At least for my first watch, it was like borderline nonsense. I'm not gonna lie. But that doesn't mean I didn't have a good time. I laughed a lot, caught a lot of really cute references like Boris and Natasha coming out of the J ward at a college. That's really cute. And the novelty of seeing these cartoon characters in the real world doesn't wear as thin as it does in a lot of other movies like this. Nice. Beefy buns. Need that. Bad. I guess what I'm trying to say is that this movie was a really interesting experience. In something like Scooby-Doo or the Flintstones, I remember those character arcs. I remember how they feel about each other and the callbacks to the source material, how they expand and subvert those formulas. I don't really focus on those things when I watch this though.
This movie's getting kinda...
Don't say it.
Two-dimensional.
But here I just remember all the times that I laughed. I remember so many lines, puns, awkward CGI animation moments.
You know, we could all be reading a book right now.
And I guess it'd be nice if this thing made more sense or stuck with you a bit more. But I'm not gonna fault it for taking the silly, dumb, self-aware cartoon with a plot that nobody cares about and making a silly, dumb, self-aware movie with a plot that nobody cares about. What year did this come out again? Close call. If you've been looking at the B-roll, I'm here to tell you that you are not crazy. Yes, this cast is a Nightmare Blunt rotation. Bullwinkle's original voice actor passed away, but June Foray reprises her role as Rocky, which is really good. She does not sound nearly as old as she did in that CGI short that came out right before she died.
Helmet's nothing, that's hair. Bullwinkle, those are girls. This lady isn't here about the trees. She's from the FBI. I still don't understand. After all these years, why does Fearless Leader want to kill us anyway?
Rene Russo, Jason Alexander, my nigga, De Niro? Bro, I'm crying. Look at De Niro.
There has never been a way to actually destroy a cartoon character until now.
What about that movie Roger Rabbit?
Shut up! This is totally different!
Hey,
He acting his ass off, low key. I'm not gonna hold you. I don't think I've ever seen this nigga smile so much since he went to that porn theater in Taxi Driver.
Are you talking to me? Are you talking to me?
And this thing is Cameo City. It's like the late 90s, early 2000s greatest hits. Well, kinda. I guess Weird Al ain't pick up the phone.
But she really is with the FBI.
Yeah, and I'm really John Goodman. Let's get in the car.
Hey, where you guys been all this time, huh?
Reruns.
You know that's never gonna happen to us, right?
You're right. That TV shit is over with. Nobody got reruns anymore. How they got all these respectable actors to pull up for this is information that I need to know. How the hell did they do this?
I don't know. I didn't write the movie. I'm only one of the characters.
Okay. I wasn't like asking you directly, but alright. Hey man, this shit was alright.
Look, there's the animated freak now!
This ain't televised.
It's a little tedious. Depending on who you are, you might actually get tired of the humor after a while. Maybe it feel a little overbearing. But you know what? That's just Rocky and Bullwinkle, bro. It's basically just like watching 3 continuous episodes in a row. If you don't like it, you kinda ain't had no business watching the shit anyway. I see this thing getting negative reviews the same way I see something like Josie and the Pussycats getting negative reviews. Some niggas just aren't down for the ride. And you know what? That is okay. We only laughing at y'all in private.
Oh, by the way.
That's a dick joke, by the way. I don't know, it was funnier in the script.
Throughout the ages, there has been one hero protecting mankind wherever he is needed. He moves in shadows, cloaked in mystery. And now, he will be called upon yet again to save the world. Scooby-Doo, rated PG, in theaters June 14th.
Yeah, go get the strap. Did I use this song only because of the dog growl? You new here? Scooby-Doo from 2002. I can't remember if this shit is good or bad, so let's figure out if they screw the pooch. And not in the Joe Budden way. Full disclosure, I put this on once maybe 10 or 12 years ago after watching it seemingly every day when it first came out. And after watching like half an hour, I told myself that I never wanted to see it again. But I knew putting it in the thumbnail would get clicks and I want to have at least one hit video this year, goddamn. Scooby, Shaggy, Velma, Daphne, and Fred fall out beefing and don't speak for a few years until they're all individually recruited to help out with a brand new mystery. There's like a guy on this island that's just snatching everybody's souls. When you say it like that, it just kind of sounds like it's a nigga running around giving everybody head. Need that, bro. Come off that. Come off that. Come off that. Come off that. Right off the bat, I was just saying, this one definitely passes the vibe check. Fred, Daphne, Velma, Scooby, Shaggy, all of these characters feel exactly like themselves, and there's definitely an interest in both elevating the source material and calling back to the cartoon. Come on, that is so crazy. They do their best in the first 5 minutes to kind of speed run the tail end of a normal Scooby-Doo adventure. Damsel Daphne, a plan from Velma and Fred, Scooby and Shaggy hijinks that actually calls back to some imagery from the theme song, even down to the pointless celebrity cameo. Pretty standard classic Scooby-Doo aside from there not being any glaring animation errors.
You stop that.
Come on, I can't stop laughing. Why the fuck is that so funny to me? Come off that. This thing, purposefully or not, takes a lot of things from a different Scooby-Doo movie from a few years before, the classic Scooby-Doo on Zombie Island. One of them being that the monsters are actually real. This nigga sucked the soul out Velma. Shit, I could do that too. She could have just called me. I definitely get why they do this too. Typically, when cartoons end up going to the movies, there's some kind of natural progression of the stakes of the show, right? The thematic through line of shows like The Simpsons or Hey Arnold are that neighborhood in town. So it only makes sense to put those things in danger for the movie. Tom and Jerry fight every day, so what happens when they're forced to be friends? Scooby-Doo was a cartoon that had these kids solving these mysteries, but at the end of the episode, They bring you back down to earth to show you that the actual villain was just an everyday person.
Shag, our area of expertise is nut jobs and Halloween costumes.
Until Zombie Island, and by extension this movie, the characters could always depend on a realistic, grounded explanation for all of the mysteries that they solved, with a few exceptions. So a good way to show that this isn't the average Scooby-Doo adventure is to show that the characters are facing a danger that they've never had to before. They're also aged up, having the characters go on and live separate lives for a little bit before crossing paths again, which also happens in Zombie Island. But here I think it's just more of a result of the aftermath of the original movie that they were trying to make. This was supposed to be like a PG-13 kind of parody movie, which makes sense when you see who wrote this shit. But after Josie and the Pussycats did something similar on Flop, they made this shit as child-friendly as possible for the bag. So that's what's up with a lot of these innuendos and dialogue. They could only get rid of so much stuff.
Like, hurry it up! This ghost keeps grabbing.
Part of what really makes this thing work is these actors. They casted the shit out of this movie.
Respectfully, but
it goes without saying at this point, but Matthew Lillard fucking embodies Shaggy in this thing. Even down to the body language. Look at him swinging his arms around while he walks. No wonder he's been playing Shaggy in every cartoon since. This shit is just an 1.5 hour long job application. In comparison to Dino in the Flintstones, where he's mostly practical, Scooby-Doo is just completely CGI in this one. The computer animation is pretty dated, just like anything from 25 years ago, so that's not really a slight. Some stuff's kind of wild, but everything looks pretty fine for the most part, I think. When Scooby interacts with any of the gang, it's still pretty believable.
See?
Seeing those like goblin things that chased them around in this movie might have been why I turned this shit off as a teenager. These niggas on an island running from Crash Bandicoot PlayStation 1 ass niggas. Watching this now with the added context of being a dog owner puts the way they animated Scooby in this shit in a whole new perspective. This the type of shit my dog would probably do if he could. I feel like this little nigga ain't sat down in 3 years.
Ow, hey! Hong Kong Phooey, watch the Fist of Fury, would you, buddy?
While we're on it though, there's probably more cute references to other Hanna-Barbera stuff in here than there is in something like the Flintstones or Smurfs. The last one doesn't exactly set the bar high, but whatever.
Wherever there's a brainwashing cult, there's always a power-hungry leader behind it all. The Papa Smurf figure.
Ow! I'm as cute as a Powerpuff Girl!
Hey, that's technically Hanna-Barbera too, nigga. Look it up before you embarrass yourself. I remember when Scoob first came out, and the main talking point for that movie was that they didn't really do a mystery, which is the very essence of a Scooby-Doo story. And while I agree, this one ain't really hitting for shit in that department either. They kind of get a grasp on what's going on by the middle of the movie, but they never find clues to tell them who's actually behind this shit. And the movie doesn't really drop hints to us either. Not much for the audience to pick up on aside from a flashback sequence. It was all Scrappy-Doo. By the way, I think he was mad because they kicked him out the whip, but with all due respect, he did piss on Daphne.
Ta-da! Oh God, he's peeing on me.
Look, man, all I'm saying is, I see piss coming, I move. And I'm guessing that it's the annoyance and isolation that leads him down this path, hence why he specifically wants Scooby's soul. I mean, narratively, they also say something about his soul being like pure or whatever, but I don't know, it's hard to act like this isn't rooted in beef.
Wait, won't you mean Melvin do?
What if he said yes?
Oh yeah, my bad, I always get y'all mixed up.
But I also think, kind of like Scoob again, that the mystery itself isn't really the point of the movie. The point is to take these characters, identify what we know about their dynamics and relationships, and tell a story that challenges them in some way. And if you're looking at it for that, they do a pretty alright job. Like I said before, the gang falls out beefing after the first like 5 minutes. Velma wanting more credit, Fred not wanting to manage his ego, Daphne upset that she's always being captured. But I don't know, I remember this scene making more sense when I was a kid. Shaggy kind of steps in the middle of the argument like, hey guys, I think we all contribute something. And everyone kind of goes, yeah, that's facts. But fuck y'all. Shit felt mad random, especially for something happening at the 7-minute mark. Y'all just couldn't wait to get to them fart jokes, huh? They ain't going nowhere, I promise. But it's all for them to deal with this when they link back up years later. Fred and Velma's main obstacle is Fred's shallowness, his ego. He takes all the credit for everything they do. Everyone gets a nickname except Velma. He really makes her feel disposable.
I'm a man of substance. Dorky chicks like you turn me on too.
Nigga faking the funk. Come here, Velma, let me dry them tears. Throughout the movie, we slowly start to see him realize that he's nothing without the rest of the team, especially not Velma. They really show off how well they work together. Shaggy meets a girl on a plane directly after an establishing shot, even though the scene is written as if she just got on the plane, and he instantly falls in love with her.
I'm Mary Jane.
Like, that is my favorite name.
Really?
Yeah.
Nigga loves Spider-Man. She's allergic to dogs, which is already awkward, but then she gets possessed. Scooby peeps it, and Shaggy's not trying to hear it, so they fall out beefing too.
Shaggy! Roll, Rick!
Whoa! Who the fuck taught Scooby that? I really like the concept of putting the mystery in Daphne, Shaggy, and Scooby's hands, with them trying to save Fred and Velma at a certain point in the middle of the movie. It's a pretty good way to play with this character dynamic and show how useful these characters are. And after that, they even have a little fun putting the characters in each other's bodies and seeing how they react. I could have sworn the stuff with them in each other's bodies was way longer than this. This shit was like 2 minutes. Shit shorter than my attention span. Fuck, what's that over there?
Hey. I can look at myself naked.
Fred?
You hit a home run with that. I want to try it.
I guess my point is that they play with the characters a lot. They have more fun with these dynamics than these kind of movies in this video typically do. Their arcs aren't the most complex things in the world, but there's definitely something to be said of all of the Mystery Inc. gang, except maybe like Fred, pretty much getting exactly what they wanted by the end of the climax. Velma wanted to actually feel appreciated and like she was a part of something. Shaggy wanted his friends back, Scooby wanted his homeboy back, and Daphne actually got to save the day and not just feel like an accessory.
Now who's the damsel in distress?
Me?
Straight up.
Stop that. You're white.
I'm homegirl.
Alright, bro. I wasn't gonna do this, but like, they try to get a lot of black shit off in this movie. Like, this is some next level listens to Eminem in the back of the class shit. And I mean like real Slim Shady, not like Kim. Any nigga listening to Kim in the back of the class need to be evaluated. It starts off as just establishing that this is like the fake speech that the goblins do to kind of try to fit in with the modern youth after they like possess somebody's body.
Yo, did you catch that new vid on the box?
True that. I'm up to snuff on all popular trends.
Word.
And they keep this shit going too. They got Fred talking crazy as hell in this shit.
Yo, the Beyonce was like, what? And I was like, later on.
But like, them niggas never get Scooby and he start talking like this too.
Keeping it real.
Oh my gosh. I would say this movie's pretty funny for the most part. The most annoying part is probably this little gem. This ain't even my 13th reason, bro. This is like number 1. I don't know, man. I guess Scooby-Doo's pretty good. You can literally see the hand in the pot reaching in and forcing James Gunn and co. To really make this thing for kids, even though they got a real funny way of showing it.
Someone must have spiked my root beer last night. Talk me down, man. Talk me down.
It's a little all over the place, but that's the charm. It's a little funny, it's faithful to a certain degree, and it is nostalgic as all hell. I almost feel like I should have watched this shit on VHS. There's a second one too that I don't even remember if I've seen or not. I don't know. If y'all like this shit, maybe I actually will do that part too. I just realized that I don't have time in this one to talk about Josie and the Pussycats, and I'm heated. That's like my favorite one. I did this roster all wrong. I don't give a fuck about no Smurfs, nigga.
We did this wrong!
This is the most embarrassing thing you've done since you decided to clean your beans at Don Knotts' Christmas party.
Way too many questions.
And next time, use the CGI on them.
You can't be in 2 places at once. I've tried it before. They're really good.
Turtlemania is sweeping the nation.
The movie is fabulous.
We loved it.
I would bring my kids to see this movie 10 times.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
It was great.
Rated PG. Now playing.
Turtle power, bitch. Fuck your mother. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles from 1990. Probably the only one in this video that I've heard literally nothing but good things about. I kind of want to hate it now. How funny would that be? That positive reception doesn't come from like reading reviews or anything. More from millennial Ninja Turtles fans. Baby man children, if you will. As far as the original Ninja Turtles go, I haven't seen much beyond the first few episodes because that's what I had on VHS as a kid, and I would watch that on repeat. But I think I'm way more familiar with the franchise as a whole. The 2000s cartoon was airing in my 4Kids heyday. I saw that 2007 movie in theaters with my grandfather and copped the PSP game that I think I beat, I don't really remember. And my most liked review on Letterboxd is me talking about how good Ice Cube is in Mutant Mayhem, which, depending on who you ask, makes me an expert.
Beat that fool. Damn, I touched that chin. Molly Wop.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is a straightforward story about how the guys met their news anchor homie, April O'Neil, and recurring villain, Shredder. It's kind of crazy to go into something operating more like a real narrative that you could take a bit more seriously. After watching 5 silly ass ridiculous movies over the course of 2 weeks for this video, this shit was like tonal whiplash. In a lot of ways, this really seems to be a movie about Raphael. That's the red one, by the way. The turtles are ninjas, so they're supposed to hide in the shadows. They're not supposed to be seen. Every single time this nigga goes to the surface, either somebody sees him or finds out more about the turtles.
What the heck was that?
Looked like sort of a big turtle in a trench coat. You're gonna LaGuardia, right?
After their first ever surface mission, he leaves his weapon, which leads to them meeting April O'Neil, but also leads to people finding out where they stay at and Splinter, his rat daddy, getting kidnapped. And I think because of that inciting incident, his guilt is what causes him to make irrational, dumb decisions that only seem to get him and his family into more shit. Like when him and Leonardo got into that argument and he ran on the roof to cartwheel and yelled, "Damn!"
Damn!
Leo's the only one that really gives a shit about his attitude, saying that they'd probably be better off without him. But after Raphael gets jumped, Leo is extremely remorseful and lets it be known that they're clearly all stronger together. It's the kind of arc that you've seen a couple times if you're a fan of this franchise, but it's hard to use that as a critique when you're literally talking about the first version of it. It's just as cool seeing the framework that'd be used for so many different turtle stories that followed this, as it is cool that this can still be enjoyed by somebody watching this for the first time with 35 years of franchise between it. Being made at the time that it was, this is absolutely a much more practically made film in pretty much every way. Everything is real. They're doing real choreography with real flips and actual martial arts, no quick cuts, no camera tricks to make it look like there's action going on. Stuff like this really takes this kind of movie to the next level. It's the same feeling I get when I watch a sports movie and the actors are actually playing basketball. After you're done with this one, be sure to watch my video on Like Mike. I talk about this kind of stuff in that one too. Oh, right. I ain't making no money off that shit. What Like Mike video? Most of this movie is shot very, very dark, which makes a lot of sense since they're ninjas and they're supposed to be in the shadows, but it also makes editing fucking brutal, nigga. I can't even see which turtle was talking half the time. It commits to that dark ninja vibe from pretty much the very first frame. The first time the turtles show up, you don't even see them. They knock a lamp out and they just start kicking ass in the dark. It's literally a black screen. Watch this get copyright claimed. As far as making this look and feel like the cartoon, I definitely feel like they go as realistic as you possibly can, kind of changing some inherently cartoony aspects of the show, which is a very funny thing to say about a movie about 4 big body ass turtle niggas. I don't think April O'Neil ever puts on that yellow jumpsuit from the cartoon. If she did, I probably missed it because I was too busy rolling a fat ass blunt.
I really don't have anything to offer you guys except for frozen pizza.
Let's go for it!
Ah, nigga, you gonna have to give a nigga a warning when you start moving like that. What the fuck? I think that the way that the turtles look in this movie, clearly just being guys in suits the entire time, does have a lot of charm to it. And is mostly fine since the movie is so dark. But these designs, coupled with the not great voice acting, makes the moments where we're clearly supposed to be invested in the character drama fall just right outside my suspension of disbelief. I like Leonardo and Raphael as characters, so seeing them argue usually does get an emotion out of me, but this shit was just weird. Shit felt like a awkward middle school high five.
Yeah, well, maybe I'll just take my attitude and
Why
leave.
don't you?
I will.
Good.
Great.
Go ahead. We don't need ya.
What the fuck is you looking at, bro? Who over there? I wonder what the thought process was to not use the original voices that these characters had back then. I guess it gotta be money because I'm not gonna lie, I hate how all 4 of these niggas sound, bro. Nobody is acting their ass off, bro. All these niggas sound like they reading a script for the first time at a table read.
Are you crazy?
Yeah, Leo, I'm crazy, okay? A loony, okay?
Why?
Why? This nigga sound like a second grader. Best line read is probably when Raphael gets mad and yells, "Damn," which is probably his most said word in the entire movie.
Damn!
Well, okay, I'm not gonna lie. Michelangelo imitating Rocky was pretty good too.
Maybe I'll fight Apollo and maybe I won't, you know? What do you think? Adrian!
How do I gaslight my audience into wanting a video about all the Rocky movies so that I can finally see one that's not Rocky Balboa? Even though the voice direction is pretty off and the costumes take a while to get used to, all of the character dynamics are all still intact. Like, these are the Turtles in all their silly, goofy, immature glory. There's a lot of moments of them just watching TV or playing board games, just kind of acting like normal teenagers, which is admittedly the kind of stuff that I really love when it comes to these characters. Like when they're battling Shredder and Mikey and Donatello both just kind of do like rock, paper, scissors to see who's gonna fight them next. They can fight, protect, and take their jobs really seriously, but the best Turtle stuff to me always remembers that at the end of the day, these are just a bunch of dumb dickhead New York raised 15-year-olds.
Don't worry, I came prepared. Put those away.
What if he said no? Nigga, I'm not putting these up. I'm hungry. Fuck wrong with you? Sure, man. I guess I like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. It's kind of awkward, but in a charming way sometimes. It teeters the line a little too close into not knowing if it wants to go full on ridiculous or as real of a version of these characters as you could possibly get. And yeah, like I said, they all like kind of sound like they're being fed their lines through a Discord call. But when it's cool, it's cool. When it's campy, it's campy. When it's fun, it's fun. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not a fan. I can't speak too much on how this feels compared to the original cartoon, but I don't know. It felt pretty true to all of the other Turtle media that I saw growing up. Probably won't watch it again, but I'm glad I saw it.
Damn!
Nigga mad as hell, I don't want to watch this shit again.
I tried to stop him, but then I thought, why?
As a villain named Claw threatens to take over the world, shock troops, kamikaze planes. There's only one gadget that can stop him.
Go, Gadget Chopper.
Get ready for the battle to begin. Concentrate.
Okay.
Rated PG. Starts Friday, July 23rd.
Besides the theme song and the fact that Cree Summer's first voice role was a little white girl, I know pretty much nothing about Inspector Gadget, and I honestly felt like I was gonna live my entire life feeling that way until I decided to do this video. So I guess my approach when talking about 1999's Inspector Gadget is more from somebody that would be pretty much introduced to the property through this movie. So pretty much fucking useless. A security guard that wants to be a cop gets put on life support when he risks his life to attempt to save a scientist who's working on some technology with his daughter to turn a human being into a helpful, like, robot hybrid person. Her daddy dies though.
Both I and Police Chief Quimby here are very sorry to hear about your father. He was a good man.
Oh, did you know him?
No.
Touched that the security guard tried to save her dad, the daughter Brenda uses the hybrid technology to save his life. I will now exclusively call him Gadget. Oh my god, nigga, this silly ass surgery room. What the fuck is going on? Nigga, put that light bulb down. I need a new pancreas. The movie focuses on Gadget dealing with this new body, this new equipment, and his desire to save people and help out. Dr. Claw, the villain from the cartoon, wants his hands on Gadget's powers so he can use them for bad. So there's a lot of that going on too. But there's also a lot of training this nigga how to operate, which is kind of fun to watch. I kind of appreciate the detail that none of this nigga's powers work if he doesn't announce them with go, Gadget, blah, blah, blah. With a lot of shit that I grew up with, that's something that I've always wondered. Does Danny Phantom have to say going ghost? Does Jake Long have to say dragging up? Or anything for that matter. A lot of the gadgets are pretty nonsense, which makes sense because it's a pretty nonsense premise. But that's also what makes it kind of fun to watch. Huh. You know, I just saw some art of Dexter's mother drawn like this. What does this mean, y'all? Much like Rocky and Bullwinkle, this is just silly, ridiculous nonsense fun. From the very first frame, it doesn't take itself seriously at all, nor does it expect you to. The score of this movie is kind of doing some heavy lifting too. Like, it kind of dictates the tone of this thing. It's so silly and whimsical and bouncy. Like when Penny, Gadget's niece, who isn't in the movie as much as I thought she'd be, goes to see her uncle in the hospital, it had the potential to be a really rough scene, but they put this like merry melody ass music in here. I thought she was gonna throw a pie at this nigga. But even beyond stuff like that, it's all in how the characters are written. Gadget is thrusted into a situation against his will that I think a more normal, emotional movie would zero in and really analyze these emotions. But since it's not that heavy of a film at all, they get away with not really having to make him grapple with it. It's a lot like that movie Dog Man. A really dark scenario when you think about it with your adult brain, but they used it to do a bunch of silly stuff to make the kids laugh. And me too, I guess. I giggled a little bit.
You are now a sophisticated network of tissue hardware and software.
No! I gotta get out of here.
Nigga cold as hell in there.
They start fucking, it was gross.
Forgive me, I haven't watched that many people talk about this movie besides Nostalgia Critic, like maybe like 10 years ago. Do people bring up how horny this thing is?
Then I will just give you your manual to study.
There's jokes about dicks, asses. Gadget wanna fuck this doctor so bad, bro. If there was a deleted scene with him beating his shit, I would not be surprised. There's one part where Gadget disconnects his ear and puts it on the statue so that he can hear closer, even though I'm not even exactly sure how this works since it's the exact same ear regardless. So like, how does it make him hear better? And it flies off because some white lady starts shaking a thick ass turd cutter on the rope. They are not playing any music that requires this much ass shaking. Ladies, sit down. Did I just bring that up so I could finally use the phrase turd cutter in a video? You new here or what? You've been asking a lot of stupid questions.
Concentrate. Put all other things out of your head except obtaining the balls.
No way they actually went for it. Y'all sure this for kids? What the fuck? Nah, and the transition after is crazy. This is literally just a dick and balls. Dr. Claw invents this robot version of Brenda with her titties out.
Give me some of that.
Gadget's pants fall down in the middle of the third act and this lady licks her lips. This nigga Gadget got groupies, I guess. The dog Brain literally yanks the draws out of Dr. Claus's ass during the climax. So now he's just freeballing for the rest of the fucking movie. Only kids movie where you'd have to say that. Hopefully. At the end of the movie, Bridget and Gadget share a heartfelt moment that ends with her asking him this.
How's your central molecular equilibrator feeling?
Feels pretty good.
And how's your auto-axle lubricator functioning?
Man, his what?
It's functioning fully.
Oh my god. I don't know, when you think about the kind of movie this has been so far, I guess, like, man, look, you don't want to know where I thought that shit was gonna go. Let's just say that I'm grateful that it went up his coat. The only time this movie tries to pull at your heartstrings is when niggas thought Gadget was dead. They found Gadget in that junkyard, fucked up. Look at this found footage ass handheld shot. It's shit like the Blair Witch Project. Besides Gadget, Penny, and Brenda in this, who approach all three roles really earnestly, everyone else's performances are just kind of whatever.
So what's new?
Hello, you killed my father!
The Gadget Mobile is played by D.L. Hughley, aka the one part I skip when I rewatch The Kings of Comedy, doing the best "ooh baby I'm black" voice that he possibly can.
Buckle up, kids, and stick some newspaper under that beagle. This engine's only got 2 speeds, fast and woo! What was that?
Wow, Disney gets us!
A couple of Andy Dick jump scares in this thing. Disney better slap a fucking trigger warning over this shit. Scary ass long faced nigga. Why nobody told me that he was in this? I would have just did Underdog. And this nigga's character name is Kramer? Man, it's not really fun when the jokes write themselves. Okay, so maybe I did know something about Inspector Gadget because I could have sworn you weren't supposed to see this villain's face. They hit this nigga for like 2 minutes and gave up before the director by a shot.
Just call one word, like Madonna.
Well, anywho, Captain Sir Mr. Claw.
Nigga don't listen. It's not too often that the movie I'm talking about is hornier than me. This shit scared the fuck out of me. Like I said at the top, I honestly don't know much about the cartoon. It's honestly the show that I know the least about out of anything in this video. But Inspector Gadget was cool. It's silly, it's weird, it's kind of doofy and random, but that's clearly exactly what it's going for. It's hard to hate on something that's actively trying to be ridiculous and succeeds. Honestly, my biggest takeaway is that I'll Be Your Everything song from the credits. I love when cartoon movies have pop people do songs that like lightly sample the theme song, like Take Me There from Rugrats. I play a little, but I want to make more than $5 this month. All right, that's it for this segment. I didn't really write an ending. Smurfs next.
What?
Today's indie animation highlight is none other than the 3 tomes created by my sister, Brianna Navikas. By the way, I only stopped doing these because I'm always working on these videos until the very last second. It wasn't by choice, I've just literally never had time to write one of these. Always teach your children time management. The 3 tomes is an upcoming indie animatic pilot following Tammy and Sia, 2 best friends trying to enjoy their summer together till they get more than they bargained for when witches, magic books, and spirits get involved. Will their friendship survive this supernatural summer? And will Tammy's romantic endeavors with 2 vampires be more than she can handle? The answer to that last one is definitely yes, by the way. The 3 tomes wears its early 2010s setting and influence on its sleeve. Sailor Moon, Twilight, The 13 Ghosts of Scooby-Doo. If you like any of those 3 things, this cartoon is definitely for you. They even got the little love triangle thing going on, which is ripe for fandom arguments, place your bets. If it was up to me, this nigga would be dead by now.
Guilty as charged.
Bree and her team have poured so many countless hours into developing this cast and making sure that this is one of the most polished animatics I've ever seen in my life. With an all-star voice cast full of a few people that you might recognize from some pretty popular things, and a board team that's absolutely no different. Who's that dickhead? 3 tomes is a must-see. The pilot animatic premieres real soon, October 24th, 2025 to be exact. So make sure you give it a watch. And if you're watching this after the fact, go find that shit. You are not gonna wanna miss this one.
No turning back.
Sound the alarm!
I'm going in!
None of you find that annoying?
I find it annoying.
The Smurfs, rated PG.
Yeah, whatever. I guess using California Girls kinda makes sense. The Smurfs is a Belgian comic from the late 50s about little blue people that live in mushrooms trying to avoid being captured by a guy named Gargamel that was later adapted into an 80s Hanna-Barbera cartoon of the same name. I remember watching the Smurfs. I think I even read a comic book. I remember them being around and everything, but I can't tell you a damn thing about a single episode. Surprise, surprise. Terrific Tariq doesn't remember something that isn't Family Guy.
Oh, that is freaking Smurf. You Smurf it. That is freaking Smurf.
Yeah. Doing this video is also how I learned that there's a black and white 60s version that's not in English.
This ain't televised, they telling lies, but promise I won't.
These are just jokes, by the way. I hope y'all know I fuck with y'all. 2011, they gave him that good old-fashioned American live-action treatment. If only we could all be so lucky. So like, I had to Google this because I thought I was going crazy. I grew up thinking that Gargamel wanted to eat the Smurfs. But it turns out that's only sometimes, because here he wants to capture them so that he can harness some of their magic that I didn't even know they had. I guess it makes sense though. Chasing your food around gets a little monotonous in an era where you could just press a couple buttons on your phone and a nigga in a black Toyota Camry could just drop off Subway cookies to you at like 1 a.m. So one day, while chasing after Clumsy Smurf, this is how they're all named, by the way. Apparently, Gargamel just so happened to never walk through this one specific part of the forest that leads to Smurf Village, never even wandered in that direction, just on some bored shit. But then he chases them out their hood until they jump into this vortex that takes them into the real world. New York City. You could tell which part 2 they ain't have to dodge a single pair of Timbs. If you've seen one movie like this, you've seen them all. They hit every beat that you'd expect. They do the thing where the human character is standoffish at first and is supposed to warm our hearts to watch them get attached to these cartoon characters. And I'd be lying if I said that they weren't trying hard to sell that emotion. But bro, I just don't give a fuck. I don't care, bro. I am sorry. I could step on Papa Smurf tomorrow and walk away like the nigga from Princess and the Frog. Part where Neil Patrick Harris, who is hilariously named Patrick in this movie, finds the Smurfs in his apartment is nuts. Everybody is in full panic mode. The Smurfs are so fucking annoying. They do not listen at all. Patrick would say like, yo, just wait here. I got y'all. I just gotta go to work. And next thing you know, they on the hood of his fucking taxi. I would have threw one of these niggas in the dishwasher. The fact that Papa Smurf keeps touching stuff, I think is the part that makes me the maddest. Like, nigga, you are way too old. And oh boy, I hope niggas replacing everything with the word Smurf is the funniest thing on the face of the earth to you, because they do that shit more than I say nigga in this video. Yeah, bro, that much.
Oh my Smurf.
Where the Smurf are we? Up the Smurfing Creek without a paddle.
Ooh, someone looks Smurfalish.
Stop saying Smurf for everything. What does that even mean? Smurf! Smurfity Smurf, Smurf, Smurf!
There's no call for that kind of language, laddie.
You smurfed with the wrong girl.
Not going in, hey!
Be quiet.
It's dark in here. All right, who's Smurf?
Yeah, guys, let's stay Smurftimistic.
You know what? I choose to be Pessa Smurfstick. We're all gonna die.
I kissed a Smurf and I liked it.
Right in the Smurfing parking lot? Smurf, yeah!
So I think Patrick is the head of advertising at a cosmetic company, and his boss is really up his ass about taking the ad campaign to the next level. The plots get intermingled when Gargamel uses his magic to glow the boss's mom up, and it's actually the raunchiest thing in this entire video. You get to watch the ass and titties form. Listen to this sound design.
Yeah.
The boss kisses up to Gargamel because if he could do something like that on the fly, he could take their cosmetics to the next level. But it doesn't really go anywhere besides Gargamel pulling his dick out in the middle of a restaurant. Okay, I framed that in a very facetious way, but you get it.
Why?
No beating around the bush this time. I don't think I like this shit. I wasn't mad, I wasn't annoyed, I wasn't even all that bored, to be honest, but I did not crack a smile once. Not even after the blunt. That's how you know there's some booty shit. Patrick's arc with the Smurfs is supposed to coincide with his wife being pregnant and them starting a family. When he's good with the Smurfs, you see her light up. And I think they do a decent enough job with this blow up moment when they're like really getting on his nerves. It's not the most complex thing in the world. You see it coming a mile away if you've just ever seen a movie before, but they make it click a lot more than I was expecting.
I never should have let this happen. I should have said no. I never wanted a house full of little people running around.
And to the movie's credit, it uses Papa Smurf and Patrick's relationship in a decently effective way too. He vents to him about being scared about fatherhood, and Papa Smurf offers him some pretty decent advice.
Hey, what if you screw up? How'd you know when you were ready?
Well, that's what being a papa is. When it comes time, you just do. And knowing what to do doesn't come from up here. It comes from here, where it matters most.
And then at the end, they try to tie a nice little bow on it with another pretty decent line.
Goodbye, Papa.
Goodbye, Papa.
Aww. It's like, nah, man, I don't give a fuck. But this is the kind of shit that I'm talking about. Patrick is borderline the main character. In the actual cartoons, kind of take a back seat. The Smurfs themselves are given very, very paper thin arcs. Like they barely even qualify. Grumpy Smurf. Wait, what? His name's Grouchy? And he's voiced by George Lopez? Bro, do I hate the Smurfs? Grouchy Smurf is psychoanalyzing why he's so mean in like one scene when he tries to fucking Eminem.
Whoa, hello.
They start fucking, it was gross.
Smurfette gets to New York and realizes that humans don't operate on cartoon character rules and they can actually change clothes. And Papa Smurf grapples with the potential of him not being able to protect the Smurfs. Early in the movie, he sees a vision of how bad things are gonna get and he just like hides it for an hour.
Besides, Papa had a vision and everything turns out Smurfy. Right, Papa?
No! Fuck!
The closest thing that one of these guys has to a substantial arc is that stuff with Clumsy not wanting to be such a fuck up. And honestly, it is the most milquetoast thing ever. Bro, your name is Clumsy. Why you think you can do anything other than that is beyond me. This is why we need to bring back bullying. You look at something like the Flintstones that's clearly just doing the cartoon earnestly, playing it as straight as you could possibly play it. But here, this kind of has the same writing style that people criticize the MCU movies for. That kind of nudging the audience, letting you know that everything is just as ridiculous as it sounds. When a character says the superhero name, they'll have like the nigga from Uncharted go, really? Oh, that's your name? They do stuff like that here. Patrick is annoyed that they always say Smurf. He thinks their mythology is weird. He can't quite understand how they get their names. Okay, that's a pretty valid question.
And you're all named after your personalities? Do you get your names when you're born or after you've exhibited certain traits?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, whatever.
Whatever, bruh. But even with that, there's still a couple moments in here where I was like, oh, okay, that's cute. Y'all definitely had the source material in the brain. Definitely credit where it's due.
It says here Smurfs are mythical creatures from Belgium, also known as stromps. Yeah. Documented by Peo.
That's cute. That's kind of cute, right? Please think of an answer and then keep it to yourself. They even bring up Smurfette's origins, and it's actually exactly how I remember it.
I was created by Gargamel to trap the other Smurfs. Papa saved me. He cast a special spell and then helped me become the Smurf I was meant to be.
I can't tell if it's more impressive that they got that right or that I actually remember it. Makes you wonder why we never got this movie. Like, I know it was like the first episode of the cartoon, but that's like a way more interesting story to retell than either one of the Smurf movies that I've seen. Bar is in the basement, but you gotta start somewhere. Shit, this is actively the craziest the Smurfs have ever looked. Some of them, like Brainy, look fine from afar, but once you get too close and see these super blue, super detailed Smurf eyes, all charm is lost. These niggas look like sleep paralysis demons with personalities. I'm the grumpy one, head ass. I guess the directing's a little off. There's a lot of moments where the eye line is all over the place. These actors clearly don't have as much direction on where to look, like in something like Scooby-Doo, which just so happens to have the same director. This nigga was chasing the most useless bag since cartoon video essays. Remember those? No way, this nigga did Big Mama's House? Okay, Range? Oh wait, I don't think that's how it's pronounced. The cast ain't really hitting for shit. Katy Perry, Neil Patrick Harris, George Lopez, Fred Armisen, Sofia Vergara, all giving us fucking nothing. They got Jonathan Winters playing Papa Smurf, who I found out died 9 days after recording his dialogue for the sequel. If that shit ass, they gonna have to hold that. Hank Azaria is clearly trying the hardest, but that just kind of made this thing a really crazy watch. This nigga Gargamel just sound like Mo Sizlak half the time.
That's true.
All right, so I got two things to say about the Smurfs. Number one, it is very, very funny to me that this is significantly better than that fully animated one that literally came out this year. I did not like that shit at all. Fuck with me on Patreon if you want to hear me get mad about it. And then they meet Papa Smurf brother that they didn't know existed, played by Nick Offerman. And then they're like, yo, we gotta go find that nigga. And but like, it just ain't really my job. Like, he wanted them nigga. I don't care. Whatever. I'm actually done explaining this. Number two, bro, I never really knew this about myself, but I don't think I give a fuck about the Smurfs.
Shut the Smurf up.
I like them as a concept, and I sincerely believe that I'd rather live in a world where they exist, but I feel absolutely nothing when I see them. No anger when they do something wrong with the characters, no feel in my heart when they do something sweet, no sense of danger when they're gonna die. I was just fucking hollow watching this shit.
I feel nothing.
Somebody watched this. Apparently it was the highest grossing live action animated hybrid of all time until Lilo and Stitch broke that record this year, which is a very stupid stat. What is stopping Endgame from counting exactly? If you grew up with this and this is your childhood movie that you'll always love because it's that important to you, I am so sorry. Y'all entertainment just wasn't hitting for shit, huh? Back in my day, we had real nigga shit like Mr. Meaty, nigga. See, that's y'all problem now. You little niggas don't got no battle scars.
Yeah, but you're milking it. Don't milk it.
All right. Thanks for watching this bullshit. Be sure to show some love to my Patreon. We be doing dumb shit up there like once a month, like ranking every black sitcom.
What is Casey going undercover for?
It's like it's basically live action Kim Possible.
But the whole family, I think, is spies, I think.
Like the X's, if anyone remembers them.
Yeah, Black X's.
Yeah.
There you go.
Black X's.
The Malcolm X's.
I was gonna say that. I'm so mad you said it.
And if you like to use my videos to draw, sleep, or do things around the house, check out my second channel, Toorific Toorik, where I got some long compilations uploaded featuring some original speed paints with more to come soon. They told me if I don't upload soon, they're gonna take monetization away. Oh boy, I'm sure gonna miss that $35. Alright, bye. Here go the emotionally manipulative AMV to trick you into thinking that you just watched a good video.
I'm just so excited, Fred. You're gonna be a father.
I'm not me anymore. I'm a hardware store.
Our area of expertise is nut jobs and Halloween costumes.
You guys eat pizza?
Doesn't everybody?
Oh my god, it's Rocky a bullwinkle!
I have a magical map that shows me exactly where the smurf root grows.
Scooby-doo! Where are